Hi everyone, this is Kassie and these are the weekly tarot horoscopes for the week of January 24th to January 13th. Our deck for today will be the Anima Mundi Tarot, a luxurious deck with very thick and strong cards. You can see how it's painted gold on the sides, and it comes with a nice box and a booklet with tarot interpretations. Images are inspired by nature, and that's what Anima Mundi means. It's the connection between all living things on the planet, as the soul is connected to the human body. On the top right, you can see last week's predictions if you want to check them out, and you can take a look at how energies shift and change in time. And if you are looking for a more personal tarot reading, you can always find me on my easy-to-use online platform, www.kassiekai.com, where me and other psychics offer online psychic readings, tarot, and astrology. But let's see what kind of energies we will experience this week. For Aries, we had the Knight of Cups last week, and this week it's the Strength. The Knight of Cups you got last week points to personal and romantic relationships or emotional concerns, and this week the Strength intensifies all those energies, and there will probably be intense emotions when it comes to a certain person or a certain outcome you want to manifest in your life. And you will focus more on your strengths actually, and you want others to do the same, especially if someone has been weak, indecisive, or they went up and down with their emotions, as is often the case with last week's Knight of Cups, who feels deep, but the connection with a person described by him can at times be a roller coaster ride. There might be a need to express one's feelings, but under the energy of the Strength, there's a holdback as you or someone else finds it hard to let their feelings out. However, expressed or not, the sexual attraction will be strong, even if those desires and instincts are suppressed because of stubbornness or other reasons that do not allow them to come out in the open at this stage. Since the energy of the Strength usually causes a slowdown, things will move rather slowly this week, and there will be a tendency to control impulses and spontaneity, so it's possible that something you expect, like a message or an invitation, will be delayed and you will receive it at a later time. The Strength is a fire card, and astrologically it's associated with Leo. So it's possible that you will have dealings with people that are fire signs, especially Leos, and you are a fire sign too, so there will be compatibility, but at the same time there can be power struggles and the desire to control a situation. This will be a serious week for you, a week of effort, but also a week when you can establish a strong foundation to build upon, a time to take control of things and to set your own terms. But not in an aggressive way that would not work out anyway, but in a way that shows you are determined, you know what you want, and that you are moving towards your goals with patience and perseverance. You will show an aspect of yourself that many are not aware of, and that could surprise some people. For Taurus, we had the Fool, and this week the Nine of Cups. You will feel content and happy with the energies of this week, and with the new beginning you had last week with the Fool, or with the potential that the situation shows. News you will receive or an opportunity that will present itself will show that a change of direction can now bring great satisfaction and personal fulfillment, and although you generally dislike change, in this case you will take a good look at the signs that something or someone will give, and if you don't like what you see, you will try to bring about some changes, even if that's in your own way, putting each step in a place bit by bit. When it comes to feelings, the Nine of Cups indicates that there is a good emotional connection with another person, and you will feel very happy in each other's company, and you will find pleasure sharing those feelings, as it appears that your expectations are now aligned in such a way that allows you to grow and develop a deep and meaningful connection. The Knight of Cups is Jupiter in Pisces, which accidentally seems to be one of the very significant transits of 2022, which makes this year a very significant year for you, especially when it comes to connecting with others, and you will smooth over and sweeten up many of your personal relationships this year. And this week in particular, it will give you a glimpse of what to expect in the coming months. Even an insignificant event can point to the right direction, so look for signs and omens. Don't forget that Pisces is a very psychic sign, and with Jupiter there, expect that your psychic abilities will be strengthened. That means you may get a telepathic message or you may have a prophetic dream. Also, since the Nine of Cups is considered the wish card in Tarot, it's possible that a wish will be granted this week. That doesn't have to be a big dream coming true, but it could be a small thing, a favor, something you were trying to do and you couldn't, but this week you finally can, and you will feel joy and positive vibes around you. The Fool must have opened a new door for you, and if you step through that door, you will probably see a new path that the Nine of Cups shows it's the right path for you. For Gemini, we had the Ten of Wands, and now it's the Three of Wands. This week, tension is being released. Last week's Ten of Wands must have caused some pressure, stress, and perhaps you took on too many responsibilities. And by that, I don't mean practical or professional responsibilities only, but also emotional responsibilities that in the end might have felt a burden or a load on your shoulders. However, whatever you experienced last week must have put things on a new perspective, because this week's Three of Wands is the card of future and potential, meaning you will be seeing things with new hope and new vision. You will feel much more optimistic in anticipation of something positive, because you will get signs that something positive is about to happen. The Three of Wands puts you in a mode that I call active waiting, which means that you are not just waiting passively and idly. As you are waiting, you are sending your energy into the world. You are making efforts to produce the results that you want. And the Three of Wands gives the promise that things will go your way. If you are dealing with a long-distance relationship and things have been rocky or difficult in any way lately, this week there will be an improvement, and you may decide to make some plans to meet or to take the relationship to the next stage anyway. And since the Three of Wands is associated with foreign places and people in foreign countries, it's possible that you will have dealings with people from abroad, personally or professionally. The Three of Wands is Sun in Aries, and that's a lot of energy, and that means an overabundance of whatever you wish to manifest. Now, whether too much is a good thing, that's up to you to decide. With the Sun in Aries, expect that this will be a very busy week, almost hectic, but you will feel motivated by the need to initiate action. You will be open to starting new things, to meeting new people, and you will probably take charge of a situation, especially if a person or the persons involved are hesitating and procrastinating. Your energy this week will be strong, direct, and uncomplicated. You will not beat around the bush. This week you will ask for what you want. For Cancer, we had the Tower and now the King of Wands. Last week's Tower must have manifested as a change that was inevitable and maybe a little disorienting too, and the presence of this king this week symbolizes someone who will help you to accept those changes and also plan for the future. because the King of Wands is a card of action and he hates procrastination and indecisiveness. This week, someone, probably a male of a fire sign, Aries, Leo or Sagittarius, will push you and motivate you to take action and choose a direction. This person will probably want to lead the situation, and if you are feeling that you don't have the energy or the confidence to make a decision at the moment, maybe it's best that you follow his lead for a while until you feel more ready to go after what you want. There will be lots of action this week, a lot of activity too. Expect emails, phone calls. It will be a busy week and you won't get bored for sure. Now, if you're wondering how another feels about you, the King of Wands shows strong attraction and passionate sexual feelings. However, the King of Wands can be a little selfish at times, wanting things on his terms. And since you're a water sign, you may not feel fully aligned with this King's energy, and that could manifest as misunderstandings, for instance, or as some contrast in a relationship. However, since it appears that this King will be a rather supportive and reparative energy, I wouldn't expect that this will be a week of big contrasts. On the contrary, it will be a week when energies settle down. One thing to remember though is that wands are unpredictable, and so is this King, so don't be surprised if someone acts in a way you did not expect or anticipated, and the reason for that is that wands people go where their passion draws them, and where they find inspiration and creativity, and also where energy and action is. And that happens in an instant, in the spur of the moment, without planning beforehand. The person represented by this King may have a big vision for you and your relationship, any type of relationship that might be, and it will be up to you to decide whether you want to follow and invest in his vision or not. And a few days ago, we had a very powerful full moon in Cancer, and you can see how you can tap into its energy and take advantage of this strong energy if you click on the video above. For Leo, we had the Five of Swords, and this week the Page of Pentacles. The tension and conflict of last week, when you got the Five of Swords, is now getting milder, and there will probably be a message that will open the door for reconciliation and improvement. The Page of Pentacles is good news and an offer that could be a professional offer, especially if you've been out of work for a while, or a solution that will help you resolve a practical problem or a financial issue, but it may very well be an olive branch that will help you fix a relationship. As all pages, the Page of Pentacles shows a new beginning or the first stages of a situation. And that's why maybe you will start or restart something, probably with some caution and small steps, because the Page of Pentacles is slow. So don't expect earth-shattering changes, but rather a slow and steady progress. If you've been expecting a message or a letter or even a document that was delayed, you will probably receive it this week. If you want to know how someone feels about you, the message of this page is that they are interested in you and they want to get to know you better, but at the same time, there might be something they do not understand about you, and they are trying to figure out where they stand with you, or maybe a message you sent them, or something you said was not clear, and they are trying to understand what it was all about. This person doesn't want to make hasty decisions. They want to feel very certain and weigh the pros and cons before they decide to go ahead with something. And they move slowly and carefully because they want everything to be perfect, and that could test your patience because your pace is faster at this stage and you want things to move faster, but for one reason or another that's not possible yet, so you have to wait. This week you will probably have to deal with a person who's an earth sign, Virgo, Taurus or Capricorn, and that person may be a child, a teenager, a person younger than you, or just someone with a very youthful attitude. For Virgo, we had the Nine of Cups and now the Six of Cups. The Nine of Cups last week must have made you very happy with something that you accomplished or great news you received, and this week positive vibes continue because the Six of Cups show that you will reconnect with someone that has a very special place in your heart. It will be a happy, joyous meeting. And yes, under this energy, you may decide to give another a second chance, either in a personal or a professional relationship. However, the message of the Six of Cups is that you have felt the energies and the dynamics with this person. You know what to expect from them in the situation, and it would not be very wise to think that this person has changed, because they have not. So if you decide to really connect with them again, you need to be very conscious of your decision, so that you don't feel disappointed later or that you don't blame yourself. Expect you will learn a secret this week, because the Six of Cups is the Sun in Scorpio, and the Sun sheds light to things that are hidden or confusing, and Scorpio is known to keep secrets. So if there has been a concealed conflict or something that was unclear, expect that hidden things will come to light now, and it will be much easier for you to figure things out. Now, if you're wondering how another person feels about you, the Six of Cups means that they feel a sense of knowing, as if they know you for a long time, which might be the case or not, and that's because the Six of Cups is one of the karmic cards in Tarot, and shows connection from the past, even from past lives, if you believe in that, and maybe you are feeling that way too. The Six of Cups points to events that happened between the 3rd and the 12th November, so this week something that started back then may be completed, but since that's a card that shows you are revisiting the past in some way, it's more possible that something that stopped around that time will start moving forward or will continue again in some way. For Libra, we had the Four of Pentacles and this week the Queen of Cups. After the rather rigid energy of the Four of Pentacles, this week things appear to lighten up a little. The Queen of Cups is a loving and compassionate energy, and if last week there has been possessiveness or some weird energies that do not allow you to move in the way that you wanted to move, or somehow you were held back, expect there will be a shift now, and things will start to flow more easily with less resistance and opposition. You will have dealings with a person who's a water sign, Pisces, Cancer or Scorpio, and there will probably be talks about feelings, and you will be in a more sensitive and romantic mood anyway, and there might be a serious conversation with them about the future and the course of a relationship, a conversation you should have had a long time ago, but for one reason or another that wasn't possible. The focus in that conversation will probably be on what you want, on your expectations, and I'm saying that because the Four of Pentacles you got last week is about what you want to have and what you would never risk to lose. It's about holding on to what you perceive as safe and secure. For instance, your values, your dreams, the things you want to achieve in your life, and you will probably talk about all those things. And the Queen of Cups gives the promise of an agreement that can be beneficial for all people involved. If you're wondering how someone is feeling about you, the Queen of Cups means that they have positive romantic feelings for you. However, it's important not to idealize anyone and to see your situation realistically without rose-tinted glasses. If you find yourself obsessing over someone, that's a sign that your emotions can get you in trouble, and maybe you need to reassess a situation or the expectations you have from someone. It's important this week to practice some self-love. Showing love to yourself, taking care of yourself in the best possible way will attract the right energies and people to you, people and situations that are in tune with you. And maybe that's what you need at this stage, to feel comfortable and secure in an environment that supports your plans and your decisions. For Scorpio, we had the Ace of Wands and now the King of Swords. The energy you were dealing with last week is opening now a door for you, or has already offered you an opportunity, an invitation, a great idea, and now under the influence of the King of Swords, you will be able to make reasonable and solid plans on how to use the energy of the Ace in the best possible way. And it appears that someone will help you with that, and that's the King of Swords, a male who's probably an air sign or ascendant, Aquarius, Libra or Gemini, and you are going to work with this person this week to make something happen. And by work, I don't necessarily mean a professional situation, although it could be something related to career, but it can very well be a personal relationship that will require some attention and some effort in order to pass to the next stage. The only problem might be that this person has very fixed views on how to do things, and he always wants to do what's right and fair, even if he has to push his emotions aside for that. He's always using his head over his heart, but that may not be such a problem, because even though you're a water sign, which means you are more emotional than this king is, at the same time you are one of those signs that know control and discipline, and that's why I believe that you and this person will be able to create something really positive, something that works for both of you. If you notice that someone's taking distance this week, or that they aren't as communicative as they were before, it's advised that you don't chase after them, because that will make them become even more distant and unresponsive. It appears that they need to deal with their feelings and their thoughts, especially if there has been an argument or a disagreement between you and them. Since it appears that at the moment they are still stubborn, it's best that you give it some time so that they find their balance again and reach out to you. The kings represent completion and the final stages of something, so that's a good card if you're dealing with legal matters, and it foretells that the outcome will be in your favor. Also, if a situation to a problem eluded you so far, this week you will be able to figure things out and a solution will come to you. For Sagittarius, we had the Sun, and this week the Queen of Swords. The Sun you got last week must have brought clarity, joy, and enthusiasm. The Queen of Swords is an air card, while the Sun is a fire card, and with this combination, expect a surge in deeper understanding of things and energies that were confusing before. So, if the actions of a certain person confuse you, this week your thinking will be clearer, and if you or another person was thinking in terms of black and white, this week you will explore several shades of gray too. The sun will warm up your heart or another's heart, and you will cease to follow your mind only. However, your need for independence will be stronger this week, and you may decide to draw some boundaries if someone continuously takes advantage of your kindness and generosity. Also, this week you will be dealing with a more serious aspect of a situation or a relationship. The Sun last week must have favored fun, joy, and sexual energies, but this week is all about figuring out what you want, what's best for you, and what's the right thing to do in the circumstances. And for that, you will need a combination of both energies. The fiery energy of the Sun that urges you to pursue your happiness, but also the logic of this Queen that will keep you on track and will not allow you to fall into illusions of false hopes. If you are wondering how someone feels about you, this Queen indicates that someone is taking some distance from a situation because they are trying to protect their feelings. Their feelings are most likely there though, it's just that they won't come out and say it. And it wouldn't be good to force them in any way, because that would generate strong resistance and they will probably withdraw. In about 15 days, there will be a very significant talk you will have with this person, a talk that will clarify many points that are ambiguous and confusing. And generally this week, communications will be favored, especially if you need to speak some hard truths. The best policy now is to be honest and straightforward, and that will be appreciated by the right people. For Capricorn, we had the Ten of Swords and now the Seven of Wands. The Ten of Swords you had last week was a rather difficult energy, so perhaps you had a big argument with someone or you felt defeated in some way. But now with the Seven of Wands, energies are settling down and you will feel more grounded, but at the same time you will feel a greater need to protect yourself, your feelings, or people you love, and you may have a sense that everyone's against you. But that's not true. You will find allies, especially if you don't stubbornly attack someone who does not deserve it. If you are wondering how someone feels about you, they are a little protective of their feelings and they are rather closed off, fearing that if they express their feelings, there might be demands or expectations that they can't live up to. So maybe they are a little withdrawn and distant. Also, it's possible there is a resistance and opposition from people. For instance, maybe it's a relationship that your parents or a social group does not support, and there's a constant need to defend this relationship, which can be a little stressful at times. The Seven of Wands is Mars in Leo, and that's a very strong placement, especially when it comes to how you present yourself to others. And this week, other people will see you as a very strong and influential presence, so that's a good time to push for something you want, as you feel very strong-willed, strong-minded, and you are willing to drive on to the end until you get what you want. There will be a lot of passion in your relationships and sexuality will be very strong, so expect some very intense moments this week, but this intensity can also manifest as arguments and contrasts, so it will be a very busy and interesting week, and it might be a challenge to maintain a balance among all those different things that are going on, but at the same time you will find that you have the courage to go against the odds, since your confidence will help you at this stage, and you will know without a doubt what you can and what you cannot do. For Aquarius, we had the Ten of Pentacles, and this week it's the Death. After the stability that last week's Ten of Pentacles represents, you will find that this week may be a little disruptive, as there's a shift that's going to happen, a change that may feel a little disruptive or uncomfortable, but it's a change that cannot be avoided anyway, and the more you try to postpone or delay it, the harder it will get. So it's about relaxing with the change and allowing life to lead you where you need to be. And at times we don't really know what's best for us, and you cannot see the bigger picture, which means a disruptive change may feel unfair or difficult, but in reality it's what's needed for us to move forward. And if we fail to move ahead by our own, usually life will manifest some sort of disruption that will push us forward. The Death is a very intense energy because it's associated with Scorpio, and Scorpio is our fears, our subconscious, deep and intense feelings, and also secrets. You will have to deal with those energies this week. There will probably be a very intense exchange of feelings with another person, very strong sexual feelings, and it might be a little overwhelming, or you may learn a secret that can be a little shocking, something that you did not anticipate, and that will change the dynamics of a situation. And you will probably have to deal with some fears or insecurities that will come to surface, so that you are able to heal those fears and release them. You will see them for what they really are. The energy of the Death card is an ending and a new beginning, which could literally symbolize your birthday. So if this week you have your birthday, I wish that you really enjoy this special day, but it can also symbolize a new chapter that's opening for you, and yes, there might be some stress or fear, but it will lead to change and transformation. This week you may receive a spiritual message, a prophetic dream, or a synchronistic event that will trigger developments that may feel karmic in some way. So remain open and let go of things that are dead a long time now. For Pisces, we had the Moon and now the Five of Cups. The moon you got last week was a very intense emotional energy, and there must have been some ups and downs emotionally, some mood swings, and things were a bit confusing. Now with the Five of Cups this week, you are still in the process of figuring things out. Although energies must be settling down quite a bit, and you will be feeling more stable and balanced. But maybe there is a concern that something is lost, or that you gave something your best shot, but it didn't go the way you expected. So balance is not there yet, as there seems to be a situation that you don't know exactly how to deal with and what your next steps should be. If you're wondering how someone feels about you, the Five of Cups suggests some disappointment on their end, probably because there has been trouble in your connection and they are having regrets over something that was said or done. So maybe they don't like how the situation turned out and they would like to fix things. So that you will probably get the chance to fix a relationship that didn't work out, or a relationship that was very unstable lately. The Five of Cups is Mars in Scorpio, which means that this week will definitely turn up the heat in your sexual life, and you will feel very sensual and seductive, and you will have an all or nothing attitude. At the same time, under this energy, you will be able to go deep and understand your deeper needs and patterns, and also hidden motives in yourself and in others, which means that this is an excellent energy if you want to get down to the root of a problem and resolve it, but at the same time, this energy might make you obsessive and jealous. This is a very intense vibe actually, and if you want to make the most of it, you need to somehow control it. Something that happened between the 22nd of November and the 2nd December will require your attention, or someone you were dealing with around that time will now resurface and will want to reconnect with you. So these were the weekly tarot scopes for the week of January 24th to January 13th. I hope you enjoyed them, and I will see you next week. I wish you a fantastic and productive week.